Hi, I'm Colin Bradley. Welcome back. Now, we've selected the picture that we want to produce, so the next move is to create the line drawing. Right, it's time probably for the most difficult part of any picture, and that's drafting it out, drawing it out. Now, as you can see, there's a lot of complicated little bits in that. Now, if you were to draw it directly onto pastel paper, you'd keep changing it, altering it, rubbing it out, and in the end you'd have quite a mess. It's always better not to do that, to put it onto cartridge paper. And the very best method I've found using it is the square drawing system. Now, this is my own square drawing system, which I it's a way of breaking up the reference into smaller, manageable areas. And what you simply do is to transfer onto gridded paper, like that. Right, now we've got our gridded paper ready, and I've just started the ball rolling here to save us some time later on. But there's one more thing I want to show you. When we're working on the 1-inch grid, although I've said it does make the area much smaller, so we're only looking at one section, let's just take this one for instance, it still leaves a little bit of element of chance, because what we need to really do is to break this up. It's superimposed against the 1-inch grid. See that? Fits exactly over the top. Now all we're doing is working on smaller gridded sections. Okay. Now here we need to break that section down. And what I've done already to save some time, I've already marked this with my rule to 1/2-inch squares. So we know that they're, let's just make sure we've got that one right. There, like that. And then all we do is we draw a very light, I'm using a red pen for obvious reasons because it's going to be a lot easier to actually see it. Okay, let's put across here. Now we're going to use a smaller grid and put it on top of the larger grid. And it's a good idea here to put a bit of tape. Stick a bit of tape on so it doesn't move. We don't want it to move as we're working on it. So there we are. We'll just put it there like that. Okay, pretty good. Okay, stick it down. Okay, good. Now that's ready to go. So we now look through there and then start to draw. Now I've trimmed this away now, simply because I can now show you the like for like. So what I also do is put little dots, a bit like the old dot to dot, around where I'm going to be placing. Do you see that? My lines. It just helps a little to start with. So we draw that in there. Let's get this show on the road. And a little bit there. Now, this is obviously going to take me quite a long time to finish the whole thing off, so I'm not going to bore you, but I wanted just to show you how it works. And then down here, and then those two lines come together. You see, one of the things you can do, you see the line itself gives you a perspective. That comes into there. Whoops, missed that. Now, it doesn't matter, because if you miss it, you just rub it out. And just make sure you do it again. All the rubbing out and all the alterations are going to be on the paper. Right, I finished off the line drawing. As you can see, a lot of detail. This has actually taken me about 3 hours to do altogether, so it's a lot of work involved. We've got to put that onto pastel paper. So let's get some pastel paper out and ready. And this needs to be taped. I use a hardboard. This is hardboard here, and I use it to put my pastel paper on, and that I tape all around using the masking tape. Now, as you can see, I've taped the pastel paper securely to the board using masking tape all around. Now what we do is put the line drawing carefully positioned on top of the pastel paper, and again we use a bit of masking tape. Be generous with this. You don't want it to move halfway through your procedure. Now what we have now is the pastel paper, we have the line drawing on top, we need something to transfer on. Now there's several ways you can do this. You can use trans trace, you can scrub the back of your picture with a soft lead pencil, which acts as a kind of carbon, or you can use a carbon itself. Now I always use a carbon. I find this is much simpler. I just put the carbon between the two, so we now have the pastel paper, carbon and the line drawing. And what we do, we'll work on this bit here, and I'll transfer this through for you. Right, now I'm using the same pencil, a nice sharp pencil. You don't want to press too hard here, just a soft stroke. It's a good idea once you get to a couple of strokes on, just to check you've got it right. Now that's perfect. Not too hard, not too strong. That's perfect. So we can go ahead with that and complete the remaining area. That's all the drawing transferred through. So I'm going to peel that off. So where the lines aren't quite so strong, I just go over them again. A little bit here, a little bit there. There's that boat there, you see. Now we need to bring him a little bit stronger so that we can see. I tend to be very light with my transfer because I don't want any of the lines showing, and I like to make adjustments. I've put little people in. I think I've got everything else. All the fine detail that is in the picture will be done by using the pastel pencil. But that, as far as I'm concerned, is pretty good. I think what we can do is start the colouring, and that'll be next time. In the meantime, you can follow us on Twitter, or you can visit our website. Thanks for watching.